Are you looking to understand lease offers in Montreal? Well, you're in the right place. Let's dive right in. Imagine a lease offer as an invitation to enter into a rental agreement. It's a proposal that outlines the terms and conditions under which a property owner or landlord is willing to rent out their property. This could be a cozy studio apartment, a bustling commercial space, or perhaps a quaint townhouse. The point is, a lease offer is the first step in the journey of becoming a tenant. Now, why is it important? Well, it's simple. Understanding a lease offer can help you discern if the proposed agreement suits your needs and lifestyle. It's like trying on a pair of shoes before buying them. You want to make sure they're a good fit, right? So, what does a lease offer typically include? The terms, conditions, and duration of the lease are the main components. The terms are the specifics of the agreement. They outline the rent amount, payment schedule, and any additional costs like utility bills or maintenance fees. Then we have the conditions. These are the rules of living or working in the property. They can cover a wide range of aspects like pet policies, decoration restrictions, or rules about subletting. And lastly, the duration. This is the length of the lease, often set for a fixed period, say 1 year or 2. Some leases may also offer the option to renew once this period ends. Understanding these elements is key to making an informed decision. It's like reading a recipe before cooking a meal. You need to know what you're getting into, what's expected of you, and how long it'll last. That's a quick run-through of what a lease offer is. Remember, understanding the lease agreement is crucial before signing on the dotted line. After all, knowledge is power, and in this case, it could make the difference between a smooth leasing experience and a rocky one. So keep your eyes open and your wits about you as we navigate the world of lease offers together. Now that you know what a lease offer is, let's delve into its legal aspects. In Montreal, as in many other places, lease agreements are governed by specific laws designed to protect both parties involved, the tenant and the landlord. Firstly, it's essential to understand that a lease is a legal contract. This document outlines the terms and conditions of the rental agreement, including the duration of the lease, the rent amount, and the responsibilities of both parties. As a legally binding agreement, once signed, both the tenant and landlord are required to adhere to these terms. In Montreal, the law grants certain rights and imposes specific obligations on both landlords and tenants. For instance, landlords have the right to collect rent, but they also have the duty to keep the premises in a good state of repair. Similarly, tenants have the right to the peaceful enjoyment of the premises, but they also have the obligation to pay rent on time and keep the property clean. Now, to protect yourself from potential legal issues, it's crucial to be proactive. Before signing a lease, always read it thoroughly and make sure you understand all the terms and conditions. If there's something you don't understand, don't hesitate to ask for clarification. Remember, it's better to ask questions before signing than to face problems later on. Moreover, it's a good idea to keep records of all your interactions with your landlord. This could include copies of emails or notes of phone conversations. These records can be vital evidence if a dispute arises in the future. Lastly, it's always advisable to seek legal advice if you're unsure about any aspect of your lease agreement. While this may seem like an unnecessary expense, it can save you a lot of hassle and money in the long run. That wraps up the legal side of lease offers. Always ensure you're legally protected when entering into a lease agreement. You're now familiar with the basics and the legal aspects of lease offers. But how about negotiating the terms of your lease? Let's dive into it. Negotiating a lease offer can seem daunting, but remember, it's a two-way street. The landlord wants to rent the property, and you want to live there. So let's find a middle ground. Start with the rent. Is it competitive with similar properties in the area? If not, don't hesitate to ask for a reduction. Then, consider the lease duration. A longer-term lease might give you room for negotiating a lower rent. What about other terms? Maybe you want to bring in a pet or need an extra parking spot. Discuss these terms up front. And remember, everything is negotiable. From the security deposit to the maintenance responsibilities to the lease renewal terms. Negotiation is key in getting the best lease offer. Don't shy away from negotiating the terms that best suit your needs. Lastly, let's look at some common pitfalls you should avoid when making lease offers. One of the biggest mistakes potential tenants often make is not thoroughly reading the lease agreement. It's imperative to understand every clause as it's a legally binding document. Another misstep is neglecting to negotiate. Remember, everything can be negotiated, so don't hesitate to discuss terms that seem unfair. Also, A common oversight is not considering the total cost. It's not just about the monthly rent, but also utilities, maintenance, and potential renovation costs. Lastly, rushing into a lease without researching the landlord or property can lead to unexpected problems later on. It's worth taking the time to do your due diligence. Avoiding these common pitfalls can save you a lot of trouble down the line. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to lease offers.